going to run through the 2-year-olds for you. Now, it won't be a long list. We did our top 10 lists last week, Amy and I. I did a little top 10 list for you this week, but it was more 10 horses that I was thoroughly impressed with, that they're on the move. These weren't our top horses. These were the horses that were somewhere in obscurity in our barn that have started to train better and move forward, and I've been thoroughly pleased with them. But we're going to talk about all the horses. AC/DC trained good the other day, trained a mile in 2:22. He's not online. He's doing his work well. So I've been impressed with him. Very happy. Now, I'm going to be frank with everybody. We have 5 horses, 5 pacers that I think it's 5, that I'm eagerly awaiting the summer. I believe they could be sire stake horses. Maybe none of them will be. I have no idea. But they feel like they are at this point, and they're overshadowing a number of other paces. I don't think that AC/DC is going to be a sire stake colt. I'd like him to do well at 2, grow up, mature, maybe be a Stallion Series colt. Make a little bit of a splash as a 2-year-old, then we put him away, and hopefully he comes back really good as a 3-year-old. That's the hope of all the horses. Doesn't always work out that way, as we saw this year, as we see every year, but that's always the hope. So AC/DC is doing his work well. Aunt Sarah is going to be in the mix. Amy and I were talking about the next generation. We paid into every level of the next generation, every distinction. We get the 2 pacers, fillies and colts, and the trotters, fillies and colts, and there's going to be some jostling. Now, I think it goes without saying that Diosa Della Danza is our pick thus far, and will be our pick likely if she stays together and everything stays good heading into the next generation. The colt's highest honors, looks really, really good, and has been training very, very good. I can't wait to go with him one of these times. He's been doing his work really well. The trotting side, a little more tricky. We have a long list of jostling horses in the 2-year-old trotting event, and Aunt Sarah is definitely in the mix. If you were to... What's wrong?
Do you have your charger block thing? This one's not charging.
Charger block thing?
The thing you charge.
Use this and plug this into... Why is that not charging? Just stop charging when you cross the border?
No, it hasn't been charging. I just didn't realize.
Oh, it's not charging because you have to go like this. Would it not make more sense to go to the power source? Did you ever think that maybe it wasn't plugged in good? So, Aunt Sarah is definitely in the mix. If you were going to put a gun to my head right now, I'll say it. You guys know it. Tomboy Strong would likely be at the top of the list right now, but Aunt Sarah, Rose Run Bobby, those 2 are right there. They are all heads apart as we head into the summer, and they're not the only ones. We have some other horses also joining the fray, and I'll talk about them. Those are just the 3 that came to my head. On the colt side, obviously, we have a number of good horses too. Emerald Tom's first one that comes to head, but he's not leading right now. I'll get to the colt that he is in a second. Nevertheless, it's nice to see. It's nice to think about those things as I go through the spring into the summer, but none of it matters because likely, at least not in the pacing side, I doubt, but in the trotting side, you're going to see those decisions made in June, in the middle of June, towards the end of June, so it doesn't really matter. So Aunt Sarah is in the discussion for sure, and likely will continue to be straight into the summer. Bianco Spiaggia, the cattle wash pacing colt. The cattle wash pacing colt went good today. You could tell he was maybe just a hair behind those other horses, but had been at 35, then got sick, went to Ontario. So by math alone, of course he's behind those horses. But it looks like he is catching up, and with his big frame and long legs, I'm sure he'll catch up in no time at all. Blue Rare, somebody said, I noticed she was scratched from Mueller's today. Why? She was a little picky after her training session on Wednesday. Was she a little under the weather? I'm not sure. On Friday, she started to eat better in the morning and the lunch, but still seemed a little blah on the barn, so I just told them, no training for her Saturday. I might go a very slow mile, 45 or something, with her on Monday, or we may just train on Tuesday, so I don't know yet. But there was no need to train her. Hard today, so she jogged today only. Capistrano Knights has been doing their work very, very well, and I've been happy with what I saw from. Why is this lady talking to me on the news? What? The volume. I want the volume off. I don't know how to make that happen. I used to know, and I don't anymore. Oh, there it is. Volume off. Thank you. I know where I'm at now. 2:16. We lost 1 minute for the border. We'll make it up. Capistrano Knights has been training great. Been a mile in 2:21 with her. She looks very good also. Really, really happy with Capistrano Knights. Again, in her distinction, so to speak, she's a little overshadowed by Diosa Della Danza, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's lots of time. Captain Doolittle is doing much better. Really happy with Captain Doolittle. I'm gonna need to see him do more, right? My job right now is to make the best form of each horse we can. Get them to the races and see what they can do. I certainly can't make horses be better than they are. And Captain Doolittle possesses ability, possesses talent. Do I think he's using both to the best of his ability? No, I don't think he is. I don't think he's hanging back either. I think he's doing the best he believes he can do right now. And as long as he continues on that trend, we'll get him there. And we'll be able to see what Captain Doolittle is and is not. But as of right now, it looks like probably Stallion Series material, overnight Series material, stuff like that, which is not the end of the world. First and foremost, get him to the track, get him racing, and see how he is. Cherry's Girl is on my top 10 improved list. She was awesome this week, continues to get better and better and better. And we follow her up right after, not long after, with Don't Ask Again. We'll talk about her in a minute. She's been still a little moody at times, but one, she's a trotting filly, and two, we don't know much about the Captain Corey, so I can't really say, well, we had one that did this, we had one that did that. This is all uncharted territory for us also. I have seen horses act just like her that ended up being very nice 2-year-olds, so I'm not too concerned about the attitude just yet when it comes to the trotting fillies that are big and growthy, but it is what it is. Cherry's Girl has come forward and looks very, very good right now. Degas was better. She won her training set the other day at 2:25, so I was happy with Degas. Diosa Della Danza was impressive the other day. It beat everybody. We went a mile in like 17, I think, maybe 16. Last half in 4 or 5, and Diosa Della Danza was very, very good. When you're passing horses up the passing lane as a baby in a set, when all 5 of those fillies are very, very good, it says a lot about your work ethic, and I'm really, really impressed with Diosa Della Danza. We just talked about Don't Ask Again. You should notice that there's a lot of people pulled over on the other side of the road. In New York, making the no speed through New York, they will hook you bad. The devil's playground is right here through New York. You will get pulled over. And they usually get you right here. It drops from a 65 to a 55, and oddly enough, a lot of the state troopers hang out in this area, and it goes back up to 65 in about a mile or two, which I have no idea why they do that, and it seems a little unfair that they start pulling people over where it drops 10 miles in a 2-mile span. Nevertheless, they do. Dune was very good today. Really, I want to watch the replays of the sets, and I was back a little bit with the cattle wash cold, so I didn't get a chance to watch. I saw what was transpiring in front of me, but I couldn't see who won the set, who was second, who was third. I was really happy with what I saw from Dune. When Dominic moved her coming to the half, he said, we usually move her down the backstretch. I said, we're not into usually. I want them all on their toes and uncomfortable today. I want to know what they're going to do. Move her. As we're coming to the half, you can see me roar back, Dominic, get her moving. As he went by me, he goes, we usually move them at the half, past the half. We're not into usually. We're not making cookies. I want the horses in uncomfortable situations to see what they're going to do. And Dune, in a first over spot, certainly looked very, very good. Emerald Tom has been great. This horse, just every week, though. He's one of those horses that has always been good. We just don't talk enough about him. And that's kind of how Emerald Tom has always been. And he fills that role pretty well. Horse was great again this week in training. Go Strong Hanover continues to be good. Now, side note, I've been protective of his testicles since Christmas time. I was happy to leave him a stud. Starting to get a little noisy, a little cranky. Knocked Cindy over the other day walking down the shed row, and she said he's been pinning his ears a little bit. Those are all indicators you're going to be castrated. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but by Wednesday when we train them hard again, if I see those ears lay on his neck, he's going to be castrated, and that will be to me, that just says a lot. When you're in April, and I don't see any of the sourness on the track, but it would be naive of me to think that that won't spill over onto the track. The way they act in the burn, although it's not necessarily the same as the track, it is indicative of it, right? You will see them start to be a little cranky, a little bossy, a little rude in the burn, and then you'll see that spill over onto the track. I don't want to see that. So if he keeps acting like that in the burn, I'm more apt to just castrate him starting before the end of April. I can tell you that. That was Go Strong Hanover. Had to know it is concerning that he continues to have foot issues as we train him down. I've never seen. Now, I told you I was shocked with the foot issues I saw in the burn, and then we had traced it back maybe to the calcium and salt that they were putting on the track in the winter, dried their feet out, and in turn they had a couple of horses had quarter cracks. I can see that. Those have all cleared up. Had to know still his issues with his. So I want to work with our blacksmith this week to see if we can square them away. First and foremost, take weight off those areas and clean the cracks up. Secondly, why are they forming? We've put him on supplements for his feet, and hopefully we can get that to dissipate. As far as his overall work ethic, all things considered, I trained him at 224 last week, and when I came in, 3 of his feet were bleeding, which is almost embarrassing. When I say that, it's I feel that I've done something wrong for that to happen, but he's the only one that left with any issues with their feet, and we're talking about the 45, 50 horses, babies we have training down. In fact, we're talking about the entire burn. We have 0 quarter cracks in the burn other than head to know someone. But nevertheless, we will work with him. I tell you guys all the time, we look at horses on a case-by-case basis. He needs help with his feet, he needs supplements, he needs special shoeing, then he will get all of that moving forward. What I'm happy with is that the horse is putting forth an honest training effort with all this going on. So that's a feather in his cap. So Head to Know has been training very good, been in 224. Hanger 1, super impressed with his mile the other day. This horse has not been training on the trot for up to 3 weeks now. He's been galloping a bit, then he lost a little bit of weight. We stopped training him last week, just packed the feed to him over the last 8-10 days. He put the weight back on that I felt that he lost, and I was really, really impressed with what I saw from Hanger 1 training this week. He's a Fearless Peter. I trained him by himself in 219. Again, one of those horses that were a little cranky, a little moody. I want to see how he'd be by himself. He was a little moody, and I had to lean on him a little bit, but he got it. And when push came to shove and I called on him, he went, he not answered the door and did his work. So that's very, very important and a huge improvement for He's a Fearless Peter also. He could have made that improved list also, I guess, now that I say it out loud. Highest Honors has been great. You're going to see one of these days exactly how good this colt is. I don't know, babe. It's just foggy here, babe. It's going to be like this probably until we start to get closer to Pennsylvania, I think. Well, it's the way it is. Better than rainy, right? Yeah. Yeah, it is. And much better than snowy. Highest Honors, you're going to see. Yeah, it is much better than winter. Highest Honors, you're going to see how good he is in the next 2 weeks. One of these horses, you're going to see him break out real soon. Always knocking on the door. We don't talk about him enough. Probably the pacing equivalent, Emerald Tom. But you're going to see both those horses come forward in a big way very, very soon. In New York, getting better all the time. He made that list. We took the hobbles off him. I really didn't know what would happen. Certainly didn't expect him to train at 25 and then train at 22. Now, he made a break the other day training, but his gait is cleaning up nicely, and he's starting to do his work very, very well. Jailbird Jog. Left knee was bothering her a little bit. Not bad. We put her on intermuscular Adequan for her overall joint care. We're going to shock that left knee. Dr. Katie did not want to go into that knee, which I'm very happy with. Her philosophy on it is the same as mine. You're going to start injecting babies early. It just snowballs, right? You're doing it now, and then you have to go back in 3 weeks. Oh, you go back in again another 3 weeks. Before you know it, you injected that baby's knee like 5 times as a 2-year-old, and that is a tree. And that is not what you want to do. So in that regard, I agree wholeheartedly with Dr. Katie. You don't want to get into that situation where you're doing vet work. You're going into joints of 2-year-olds. So we opted to blister, cool it out, shock it, and then go from there. And it likely was just her taking weight from the splints that were up front. we'll know soon enough. If it becomes pesky, then we'll have to look at other options. But as of right now, I think we'll be able to treat it no problem. And 100% it's behind those brakes that you see once in a while. I went with her last week, and I thought she was awesome. She made that small little break on Amy the other day. But Amy said, after she made that break, she was great, which is so weird. She would do that. And I said, no, just pinching her in places. And, she was trying her best to protect herself and couldn't at that particular juncture of the mile and made a break. It's not shocking. It's not the end of the world either. So where were we at here? We were at Jailbird Jog. Joe J. Fote trained a little lazy on Friday. We'll get her back in with sets on Wednesday. Jolene Hall was great this week. Been in 220 with her. Judy's money was good, but a little flat finishing up her mile. It begs the question, how deep is Judy? Now that you start throwing some, racehorse halves and racehorse quarters at her, and she doesn't respond as well, I have to ask myself, is she as overall good as we want? Are we just starting to see her maybe plateau where she's a useful horse, but not in that sire stake category? I don't know. Maybe she was a little bit sick. Who knows? I am not sure, but we are going to find out over the next 2 months together. Leland Hanover, I told you guys, I believe when all the dust settles in 2025, he's going to be one of our best horses. I like the horse. I think that he is, somebody sent me a message. I think he's very talented. I like his work ethic. I like his breeding. I like his gait. I like everything about Leland Hanover. And I think, as I said, when we start to get into the summer, you're going to see why. Lifting Legend was much better. And not that I thought he was a bad horse. I thought he was a nice horse, but way better than he's been all winter. I really like to see him coming on. He's starting to do his work well and trot well. Really happy with Lifting Legend. Love Sensation. One of those horses I told you guys you're going to see very, very soon what I'm talking about. She is one of our better horses. You haven't seen the Love Sensation that I've seen at times. She's gritty. She's tough. She's fast. You're going to see it all start to culminate. Remember, she missed a lot of time. A lot of time. This filly, she had a procedure done at Christmas time. I keep saying procedure because it wasn't OCDs. She had an erosion of both her hind ankles, and Dr. Brown opted to put a screw in both of them. Sounds like a terrible thing. He said, Anthony, you can leave it. It may never bother her, but I tell you this. If I put one screw in that ankle, both those ankles, it'll never bother her again if it takes. It's taken, because she has never been sore, never been lame, never been any swelling in there. He did a tremendous job, as he always does as a surgeon. And the team of him and Dr. Latessa is top notch. Love Sensation. She just gets better and better and better. Megan's Lucky Day won her set the other day. Much better. We get the flip-flops off her. Changed her shoes behind. Told you guys it was just going to be baby steps with her. Just minor changes are going to make huge differences, and I hope that's the case. She was not an easy winner. She was a winner in her set in 223. She looked good. Millie Girl, I didn't realize where Amy was. Now, we didn't have her on video. I get up the inside and told you how impressed I was of Diosa Della Danza. Amy was 6 wide coming out of the last turn. They stacked right across the track. All 6 of them. Amy to the far outside. And Amy said, I thought I beat you. I never saw her yet. I said, well, I don't think you did. Who cares? I'm glad that she was that good. She was very, very good, which I'm very happy to hear. My name is Swaney, is training good, trained great again the other day. Eric actually put her on the front with all those good pacers and finished right there with everybody. So Waney is definitely coming forward. Neuromancer, trained him in 218. Him and Royal Flush Dio have been the fastest in the barn right now. Royal Flush Dio did it great. Neuromancer just did it powerful. I'm not so sure he didn't tie up a little bit 2 weeks ago when I trained him. His gait wasn't as fluid as I thought it would be. Now he just got him shod after he trained, changed all his shoes around again, took the bars off him. I'm interested to see how he looks middle of the week. Perfection Hanover was much better. Finally starting to see the fire come back to this guy. He went out the track the other day with Amy and he was wild. She said he is hot. He hasn't been hot for a while. He said, I'm glad to see it. Amy ended up first over. Actually, she might have beat me with Megan's Lucky Day the other day, actually. he was down out of the pacing set, but he was very strong again, a mile and 2:23. I like to see that from Perfection Hanover. Perfect Thought was great again. She finished up right behind me with Dielsa Della Danza, kind of slid through the inside with me. I don't want to see her opened up and sharp every week. We showed her off a little bit. You guys got to see how good she actually is. 2 weeks ago when we videoed, she's an exceptional filly in with 5 fillies that are all pretty exceptional right now. And I've been very happy with her. Pretty Eyes and Lies trained awesome the other day. She's starting to come to life now. I haven't got updates from today, but they were slow miles today anyway. But Pretty Eyes and Lies has been training pretty good. Very happy with her. Rico Tubbs was fantastic with the hobbles on Friday. I trained him in 219. He was very, very good on Friday. Riding the rodeo trained good today in Ontario. 224, I think she trained in. She was really good. Johnny was happy with her. Rose Run Bobby has been good and continues to be good. I'm going to get gas here. I'm going to get gas here just because I know this is somewhere we can get it. Actually, you're going to get gas. Yes, you are. You're going to pump gas right now.
No.
Yeah.
Ava did that last time when in Ohio.
Did she in Ohio?
Pump gas for Mom.
Well, you're going to pump it for me right now. So you just tap where it says the tap thing? Turn that off. Just tap where it says the tap thing. Right? Well, then have a nap. So Rose Run Bobby.
What do I do?
I said to Amy the other day, you know, I think this filly, when we might have to put the hobbles on her just because she's got a little wrinkle in the straightaway. See where it said the Bluetooth sign is? Just tap the thing there. Hurry up, get out.
What are you closing it for?
Because I just closed it. Get out. Throw the garbage out too, please. Gas first. Hey, I'm running late.
You said we had time.
Yeah, I have time as long as she doesn't drag her feet. Tap it. There you go.
Now what?
Just wait. Okay, relax. Pick the pump up. Click the 93. There you go. Yeah, now start the pump. Oh my God, she's 13 years old. How do you do that? That's embarrassing that you just said that. Pull the nozzle. What are you talking about? There you go.
Where is it?
God. 13 years old. I think I might have a job pumping it. Oh, she's 14. That's even worse, Addie. So Rose Run Bobby, just that little wrinkle in the straightaways once in a while, I feel, as we get really into the deeper part of training closer to qualifying, she may benefit from a set of trotting hobbles. I'm not saying she will for certain, but she is right there and loves her work. A really, really nice filly to train. Thank you, honey. Really nice filly to train. Really happy with her. Royal Duchess continues to just, even Steven, just go out and get your work done every single week. And I've been very, very happy with Royal Duchess. Very happy with Royal Duchess. She's staying sound. She's not laying on the line. She's going out and getting her work done every single week. So I've been very, very happy with Royal Duchess. Royal Flush Dio trained the fastest of anybody this week. It wasn't that he trained fast. Neuromancer trained fast also, but he didn't do it as good as Royal Flush Dio. The horse was absolutely perfect in training and super strong. I did not see that coming when I trained this horse this week. Since we castrated him, he's just been better and better and better. And he was, I mean, I guess astonishingly good is a little bit of an overreach. He was very, very good in training. Really, really impressed with what I saw from Royal Flush Dio. Simply Chaotic right after him. The two top trainers in my mind of the week. Simply Chaotic was fantastic in Ontario today when I went with him. I was thoroughly pleased with what I saw from Simply Chaotic. Solidarity trained grade 2. No breaks. Right in behind us. A mile and 2:23. Last half at 6 or 7. The horse looked very, very good in training. Steady Volo is going to be back at it next week. He's growing. He's getting bigger and stronger. I saw his knees were getting a little rounder. So we had them x-rayed. No issue. She said that a little remodeling. There's something you're going to see. Are you worried? And I said, no, but I think this is a nice horse. We back off a little bit right now. It's not going to bother me at all. She goes, all right. So we put a little blister on him, got the blister off him. I think we're going to put some ProStride in his knees. Now, it's not really the same as, I just finished telling you I don't want to do vet work, but ProStride is a little bit different. It's more geared towards helping the horses, and this is exactly when you do put it in. So we're going to do the work on Steady Volo, and then just give him some time off, just jog him, maybe some light training, but you won't see him back at top speed for another 2 weeks or so. Steph's Hope, her knees were bothering her. We worked on them also. They are getting better. She was better all last week just jogging. I'm going to start back training her on Wednesday. Yes, honey?
Why is the Wi-Fi not on?
The Wi-Fi should work, honey.
It's not.
Well, I can check this phone. I believe it's still on, honey. Must just be a little bad zone going through here. Must be a bad area. So, I hate when it does this. There we go. So, Steady Volo, Steph's Hope, both those horses, I would say, on a list of horses that we're watching their knees, those are actually the top two. And we've been addressing them. As I told you, we were being super proactive with all of the horses in their knees or any mechanical issues we saw this season. We backed off with Steady Volo. That's been addressed. He'll be back going soon enough. Steph's Hope, we have addressed it. She had the week of just jogging. I might train her a slow mile on Tuesday or Wednesday of this week also. Sterling Hanover is good. My thoughts on him from the training today: get the hobbles off him, get the flip-flops off him, go back to a 5/8 and let the horse train, and that's exactly what we're going to do next week. Flip-flops will come off, the hobbles will go off, and Sterling Hanover will be back at it. He went 2 trips today. Well, screw around on that first trip. It's bad news bears for you. He made a break on Amy the first set. We put bell boots on him and went back out. Johnny trained and we finished up right behind everybody. So speed-wise, he's right there. I don't like him with the hobbles on too. He doesn't look as good with them on. Get them off. So that's exactly what we're going to do with Sterling Hanover. Supermind was great in training the other day. Also been in 222, 221. Really happy with Supermind. Sweet Lake, in that division. Trust me when I tell you, those 5 fillies, right? Let's see if I can use it. Oh, no, it's a Sweet Lake, Perfect Thought. They're not fillies. The Highest Honors is in that set also. Who was Jason going with? This is the fifth horse. I can't think of it right. I can think of it pretty easy. I'll tell you exactly who it is. The 5th horse is why is that not showing right now? Why are those fillies not on here? Cherry's Girl, Capistrano, Knights. Oh, there it is. Millie Girl. What's wrong with me? All 5 of those 4 fillies in that colt, they appear to be, to me anyway, if I'm looking through the way our other horses have trained and where they sat in in their distinctions and in their jurisdictions, I feel that those are our best shots at 5 pacing sire stake horses. And maybe none of them are. I have no idea. We'll all know together in July. But those 5 horses all seem exceptionally good training right now. And Sweet Lake is most definitely one of those. Tomboy Strong is, as I said, quietly the top of the heap in the trotting filly division, but it's so razor thin up there. You also have Aunt Sarah and Rose Run Bobby, and there's a couple more also. But those 3 fillies they just seem very, very good right now. Uncle Danny, that's the other colt, right? I think he's the leader so far in the colt side. Him, Emerald Tom, and a number of others. We have probably 3 or 4 or 5 really talented trotting colts and fillies for Ohio, and I think Uncle Danny quietly is at the top of the colt division right now. He looks really good. Woodmere Billet's been training really good in Ontario, or been in PEI with Jamie Smith. He's been in 226 with him. I believe, this week. He's been in 2-3 with Woodmere Betcha. I think maybe 229. I'm not sure. But either way, he's not too far off what we've been doing with our horses up here. And then Xena Kemp should definitely have been on the improved list because we did give her time. We addressed the ankles that were bothering her behind. We addressed her knees. We gave her the time. We brought her back, and she's been training sensational. She should have been on the improved list also. Xena Kemp has been doing great things and is back on the proper path. I'm happy to report now. So those are all the 2-year-olds. All we got left is the 3-year-olds. I'm going to try. You might have to wait for your videos till tomorrow afternoon because Amy is not back until almost 1 o'clock tomorrow. And it's been kind of our thing. We've been doing our Sunday opening together, and I'd like to continue that trend tomorrow. So I'm going to do the 3-year-olds right now, and then I'm going to wait until tomorrow afternoon to do the opening video with Amy. So with that, I'll let you go. We'll be back to the 3-year-olds in just a second.